Hey guys, it's RB Gaming here. Today we're going to talk about a few things that made some of the games we used to love so great in our minds, and what new game developers can do to make the games that are coming out in late 2018, early 2019 just as good, if not better. Why are older games thought of so highly, almost held to a mythical standard? A lot of people might think, hey, it's just nostalgia, the games weren't that different than any games made today. I disagree. I think a lot of games back then, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, were just made differently. They had the consumer in mind. Everything wasn't a microtransaction and everything didn't have to be online.
That's so true. I mean, back then you were able just to sit on the couch and play split screen with your friends. You didn't have to worry about if you have Xbox Live or if you had the new DLC.
And the games, when they came out, they were the game. It wasn't a, hey, here's half of a game, we promise to give you guys half a game as long as our sales are good, otherwise we're going to abandon it completely.
EA.
Games now feel so uninspired. World at War, Modern Warfare 2, two of my personal favorite games. Everything about them made you want to win. In World at War, every multiplayer map made you feel like it was life or death for your country. It wasn't just, oh, I'm shooting a ketchup packet right now that's going to explode, and if I get the most points and I'm in the top of the leaderboard, I can do a dumbass emote, and then everyone can laugh at me. No. There was a reason to win. Like, you wanted it. And the progression system, it gave you rewards for doing well in the game. It wasn't, hey, give me $40 and then you can unlock the rest of the game that you've already paid $60 for. I don't want this to sound like a rant. I want it to be almost a message to developers. They used to know what we wanted. They used to put out what we wanted. And now it's almost like the consumer completely out of their mind. That's not what I want to say.
Consumers not out of their mind.
No, I wanted to say
although we are.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
We've been brainwashed to like buy games now they're not completely finished.
We're used to it at this point. And the uninspired gameplay. If you look at World at War, you can blow people's arms and legs off. They writhe in pain. It's like, it's as awful as that sounds. It's one of the most satisfying things when you're looking at an actual like realistic shooter. Modern Warfare 2, people fly back, they like twist around, like almost like a ragdoll. And games,
they're just so cartoonish.
Yeah, that
they're making more PC and less realistic.
PC as in politically correct.
Political correct. Not Xbox and
PC. PC Master Race. I think a lot of newer games could learn from going back. They say go back to the roots. We're going back to our roots. Going back to the roots isn't just recreating a game in the time frame. It's going back and looking at what made those games great. We got content that we weren't expecting out of the box. Nowadays, you see the game, you hear about it, you hear the name of it, and you can tell exactly what's going to be in the game post-launch, 6 months from launch, 2 years from launch. You can pretty much pinpoint it without watching a single trailer, without reading one blog, without reading one dev log. Nothing changes. Everything's the same. It's all the same recycled garbage. The last time I, as a gamer, felt like I got something I wasn't expecting, like MW3 almost, when we got that little survival game, whatever it was called.
Infection.
No, not Infection. The one where you start off with a pistol and you can like buy the guns.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it was just called Survival. I'm not quite sure.
Gotcha. I mean, not to say that like there aren't more, but I'm just saying there's definitely more games of that era that gave you something that out of the box you didn't know. World at War, zombies wasn't even a thing. Like, you finish the campaign, you're like, awesome, I finished the campaign, that was a really amazing story, and then zombies just start up and you're like, holy shit.
I know, it was shocking. Back then the game developers didn't even tell you all the content that was going to be in the game. They left a lot of the surprise. Now there's so many leaks.
And Easter... Sorry, go ahead.
You basically know what's going to happen.
Nowadays, it's like Easter eggs are how you play the game. Like, you can win the game by completing the Easter egg. This Easter egg, you step 1, step 2. That's not the way it should be. It should be difficult. They shouldn't be spoon-fed to you. And that shouldn't be the game. It should be like for really crazy enthusiasts who want to spend a ton of time finding something no one else can. Not just your average everyday gamer who's going to look up a YouTube tutorial and do it in 5 minutes. Or, even worse, just hit the select button and the game tells you what to do step by step. It's not the way the games are supposed to be played.
I'd say one game that still does a good job on releasing regular content would be GTA 5 without having to pay for any of it. You get all the new content updates for free. I think that's just really good on their part.
Especially considering their past and how little they had cared about games that are, like Rockstar at least, how little they had cared about games that were launched.
Yeah, I definitely see at the beginning that they didn't at all.
That's
We
true.
were waiting for online heists forever, but Rockstar actually took the time to listen to their community. I think that's just amazing on their part.
And I pray that not Left 4 Dead, wow, Red Dead Redemption 2. New Left 4 Dead game would be awesome, by the way.
Oh, dude, Left 4 Dead 3. Confirmed.
Half-Life 3.
By us.
But I'm in definitely the group where I hope Red Dead Redemption has a sort of the same feel, and it's not just a pay-to-win kind of game.
Yeah.
Going back to the topic of shooters being satisfying, I have to say one franchise that's done it well year in, year out, Battlefield, one of the most satisfying and immersive games that I've played personally when it comes to a AAA title. Of course you're going to have games like Arma and Insurgency that are more realistic and give you more of a feel like you're in the battle or in the war. But Battlefield brings you so many different options and so many different players, obviously, and they do a really good job of keeping you immersed and keeping everything, while realistic, still satisfying. Like long-range sniper kills where you just see a little dude explode from 500 meters away, or watching people fly because you threw a grenade into a trench and there's 4 people sitting in there, or rushing somebody and stabbing them in the back and taking like little animations like that. Those little things really make the game.
And EA and DICE have actually, in the past, they've had a real problem with making players pay to play the new DLCs. But recently they just announced that Battlefield 5 and their Battlefront lineup, all the DLCs will be free for everyone. That way they can keep the community together. So just like Rockstar, it's a really good initiative on their part.
And personally, I'm in the group of I'm very excited yet nervous to see where Battlefield 5 is going to take us. I like the new moves where they're trying to evolve the series and try new things, but I'm very worried about launch because from what I've heard, the new BR mode isn't even going to be available at launch. So is it just going to be multiplayer? Like, I get that that's what most people play, but is it just going to be like try the new maps, Conquest, Rush, whatever, Operations? Is that all that there's going to be?
So yeah, Battlefield 5, they've oh no, that was for Call of Duty. I think that they got rid of the campaign. I'm pretty sure Battlefield 5 is still going on the War Stores.
Yeah, you're right. 'Cause I remember that trailer. My bad.
But I'm also like, so their VR mode, I feel the same in Call of Duty though. I think it was the last second thing. Like after they saw PUBG and Fortnite really take off, they're like, oh, we need to get on this before someone else does. And pretty much soak up all the money. I think it's a money move personally. That I really don't like.
I wholeheartedly
Have
agree.
money.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. However, unlike the Call of Duty series, I think the Frostbite engine could be such an amazing and beautiful like engine for a battle royale game.
I would totally agree.
Like, I think it could completely kill PUBG if it's good. Like, if it's made well, honestly, if you took PUBG, every map on PUBG, and just said, fuck it, we're putting it on the Frostbite engine, I would sell PUBG, I would fucking shit on their shirts, and I would be wearing EA shirts from here on out, because I think that'd be amazing. Obviously, that's not gonna happen, but if they could do...
I mean, unless EA buys out
Farm 51. Oh, no, Farm 51's World War 3, which is another game I'm excited about, but I haven't seen any gameplay, so that's kind of sketch considering that it's coming out soon.
Is it coming out soon? I heard. Alright, so
well, it's going into open alpha, like I think it's like paid open alpha in 2 to 3 months. Yeah,
that's another thing. I really do not like games that stay in open alpha and they never get finished. Technically, PUBG is still in alpha.
DayZ is still in alpha, which is an infamous one.
And they're also releasing a new game that's survival.
Yep, same exact game.
Yeah.
They did say that they expect to be in alpha 12 to 15 months, or not necessarily in alpha, but they expect the full game to be out 12 to 15 months after this alpha, which unfortunately for them probably will be about the time a new Battlefield game comes out, right?
Which will probably be World War 3. Although, if they made a Battlefield Vietnam game, which a lot of people are hoping for,
that would be amazing.
I think that would be, that'd be a really good move.
I agree.
But yeah, they could also do a World War 3 and crush the competition.
Another thing developers shouldn't do, which I feel like they're trying to do more and more, they shouldn't listen to the people. People are idiots. They don't know what they want. And whenever they get what they want, they oftentimes just turn and complain about it because it wasn't done correctly. Devs, they should do what they want to do. When a developer is behind a project and they actually want to do the thing that they're doing, it turns out to be a good game more often than not. However, when you get a team that doesn't want to make a game, World War II, it doesn't, I mean, you know, it doesn't turn out well, but why would it? Because they didn't even want to make it in the first place.
They called you not want to make World War II?
No. They pretty much, they were going to make a modern shooter, and in the last second they were told they had to make a World War II game.
That's horrible.
Yep.
And now we saw what happened when they did that.
And I feel like the older games, they had such better map design. There wasn't a ton of clutter on most maps. Like, there wasn't just random furniture everywhere making it impossible to move around the map or see things. And there might have, I mean, most maps have just 3 lanes, but you can move side to side, up and down. There was height, there was depth. There wasn't just go left, die, respawn, go right, die, respawn, push middle. It's not the same thing over and over again. There's so many different ways to play, and now I feel like we're stuck doing the same things over and over. Every world, especially World War II. World War II had some of the worst map design of any game I've ever played. It just felt so, like I keep saying uninspired, but I mean, it was so lazy. It was just, oh, we're gonna go through this barricade, we're gonna have to go through this one choke point, and then we're gonna push through, and we're gonna do the same thing over and over again.
Not to mention, I think they only had like 8 maps at launch. I could be wrong, but it's a very low map count. Unless you want to pay for the new ones.
And there was only 3 maps for the only good game mode in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But the new Insurgency is a game I'm looking forward to. Unfortunately, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement when you go into the alpha, so we can't really talk about it, but I'm very excited to see where it's going. New games coming out show potential. I'm very excited to see where World War III goes. Battlefield 5 looks like one of the most amazing looking games I've ever seen personally. There's so many different games with so much potential. I just really hope that they can live up to it. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comments below. This is RNB Gaming.